Those devastating floods in Texas, a deluge of historic proportions that has already killed at least 14 people across the state. And in hard-hit Houston, the devastation is measured in miles. Entire neighborhoods underwater. ABC's Matt Gutman is there in the heart of the storm zone with tonight's race against time.
In the Texas flash floods, life or death decisions were made in seconds.
You okay?
Outside San Antonio, this Jeep Cherokee washing down a river.
Oh my God, oh my God!
Look, the driver is still inside. Miraculously, he was somehow able to crawl out the window of the SUV before it capsized and was completely submerged. Others, not so lucky. This morning, Houston turned into a water world. Cars bobbing on highways turned into canals. Traffic at a standstill. Officials in the fourth biggest city in the country saying at least 1,000 cars were submerged. Across the state, 14 people dead, and over a dozen tonight missing from the days-long deluge. In Houston, the waters springing up overnight Tuesday, swollen bayous gulping down neighborhoods.
We have 1,000 properties that we visually inspected. We believe that there may be as many as 4,000 with significant damage.
Overnight, dispatchers struggling to field more than 900 emergency calls, more than 500 of them water rescues.
The bayou has overflowed.
Rescuers barely able to keep up.
We have a female was stranded on top of the car underneath the bridge to really rescue.
This man's dash cam rolling as he drives through the floods.
I can't see.
Fans and players at the Houston Rockets game overnight stranded for hours.
I can't go nowhere, so I'm with the fans.
Daylight revealing the scope of the disaster. In submerged neighborhoods, rescuers launching boats. We met up with a helicopter crew of our affiliate here in Houston, KTRK, to see the aftermath of the storms from above. From the air, now that all the water has started to recede, you see the massive amount of mess left behind. The mud, the oil spilling out from those stranded cars. The cleanup is going to take some time here. Across Texas, the deluge seemingly biblical in scope. This dam in Bastrop County, Texas, breached. A wall of water crashes through the road. The lake emptying out, the Blanco River so full it surged 30 feet above flood stage, sweeping away this bridge. In all, dozens of homes in this area destroyed, including the house Laura McComb, her husband Jonathan, and their 2 kids were vacationing in. Other families were with them as well when the water hit.
She called me. She said, I'm in a house. I'm floating down the river. Tell Mom and Dad I love you and pray.
Somehow Jonathan managed to survive, suffering a broken sternum and a collapsed lung.
He is absolutely devastated. He did everything he possibly could to save them.
And they're mourning across Texas tonight. Near Dallas, 14-year-old Damian Blade and his pet dog were found dead a day after his family reported him missing.
It's not easy seeing your friends go away just like that.
And the community of Devine, Texas is mourning the loss of a high school homecoming queen. Alyssa Ramirez died on her way home from the prom.
It just seemed so surreal. It wasn't anything I expected to wake up to this morning.
The raging waters brought dramatic rescues as well. That Jeep Cherokee. 2 others rescued by air from this Black Hawk helicopter.
I kept calling him over and over, and he was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Flash flooding can swamp your car in mere seconds, and just 18 inches of water can lift an SUV. The water will easily heave your car sideways, even rolling it over, possibly trapping people inside. On average, more than 300 Americans die each year in submerged cars. To find out how to survive, I got behind the wheel to test out what experts call the safe way to escape a submerged car. Being caught in rapidly rising floodwater is not unlike driving your car at a high speed into deep water. Either way, you're engineered to react with a single emotion: terror. Let's take a step back. This wasn't an accident. In fact, it's all precisely planned under the guidance of the Indiana State Police and Dr. Gordon Giesbrecht, the guru of the new theory of escaping a submerged car alive.
Basically, what I'm trying to do is create the stop, drop, and roll for the 21st century. Seatbelts, windows, children out.
As we prepare to crash the car into the water, mimicking as closely as we could being trapped in floodwaters, he walks me through the new method so we can all escape alive.
1, you have to have your seatbelt off so you can move. And 2, you've got to have an exit so you have somewhere to move to. and it's not the door.
You need to plan one up.
There are 3 safety divers in the water. One is in the car equipped with air tanks should we get into real trouble.
All right, it's go time.
I round the cones and hit the ramp at about 20 miles an hour. I unlock my seatbelt, roll down the window, and get my pretend baby and flop out of the window of the car.
Whoops, sorry, kid.
One key life-saving tip:
Do not touch your cell phone. If you touch your cell phone, you're probably going to die. You've got about a 1-minute period where the car is floating when you can open the windows before the water gets up above the side windows.
Another tip: keep a sharp object or a window punching tool like this in your car. For decades, experts said the only way to survive was letting the car fill with water before opening the door and swimming out.
That's the method that gets you killed.
Don't wait for the water to come in the car for it to equalize to open up the door.
Unless you want that to be your final resting place.
Now it's time to do it again, this time simulating real-life problems. This Jeep will shove our car into the pond. That Jeep is pushing us much faster this time, well over 20 miles an hour, going over the ramp and down the bank. All of us shocked at the force as we hit the water. This time the water isn't trickling in, it's flooding in, and I'm about to make it worse.
Try the door now, see if you can open it.
We're all surprised when somehow I can. More water flooding in. The window is now stuck, so I shatter it with that puncher. But in the helter-skelter to escape, I forgot something really important. I shimmy out as the water engulfs the car. Watch how quickly this car goes under. But Giesbrecht and the safety divers are still inside. Seconds later, they pop out. If they hadn't been trained, it's possible they could have drowned. Tonight, the search for the missing continues. The hope that others also manage to escape from their cars. For Nightline, I'm Matt Gutman in Houston.